Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Memo and I mainly draw things for a living. The Artist Starter Plan is a calendar I created to help you start learning how to draw if you're a complete beginner or get back into drawing if you haven't done it for a while. The plan goes from drawing simple lines and shapes in the first week, moving on to portrait, gesture, clothing, and full characters by the end of the 31 days. I recorded this as a series of live streams on Instagram, so unfortunately the format is portrait and there's some level of chit-chat throughout the videos. I hope you can still enjoy it, download the calendar for free, and start your own practice. It doesn't need to be the first day of the month to start, just pick day one and build up from there. Let's get started! Welcome, and I hope you had a wonderful week. Today is also my daughter's birthday. She's 1 year old, which is preposterous because I cannot believe that it's been 1 year that I gave birth to her. Like, that is absurd to me. But there you go, she is actually 1 year old. So she's a big girl now, ready to go to university and get her own apartment, I think. Today is day 26 of the Artist Starter Challenge. Today I'm going to show you guys how I approach drawing outfits. For today we're drawing just a modern outfit, like nothing special, and tomorrow we're going to do like a vintage or a fantasy one. I can't remember. There you go. This is a character that I drew like last year probably, or something like that. So I prepared this character. So she's got her little undies on. And on top of that, I'm going to draw some clothes. So what I do and some of the things that you should... Also, I'm changing my usual brush, which is usually the dry ink. As you guys know, it's my favorite brush to use for everything. But since this drawing was previously done with this brush, it's called Narinder pencil, I'm going to use this brush just because it's what I used before. Yeah, the Narinder pencil is like slightly a more rigid tool, I think. So if you're more in a mood for like sketching, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you want to do some kind of like more, like slightly more technical or more precise line art, then it's a good pencil. I like it, at least. And it does remind me a lot of like a real pencil. Anyway, so as you can see, what I've done here is I collected some mood boards from Pinterest, and usually what I would do, especially if I'm creating my own character for something like a little like more like wider in scope than just doing a class, I would usually get references for each one of these items, and I would do my own mood board. But since this is just for, you know, to show you guys, I decided to just go on Pinterest and, you know, type, I think I typed like spring witch aesthetic outfits or something like that. And you get these ready-made aesthetic boards. So thank you, people on Pinterest. So here's like the example of like 3 different types of outfits. So like one is like with shorts and like a large shirt, one is like a dress, and one is a skirt that is a little bit more rigid. And one thing that I always say to people when they ask me about drawing outfits is that number one, like super important, is that you need to draw an outfit that goes on top of the body. So like, you know, if you're drawing a skirt, the skirt cannot be on the same line as the body is, because that would mean that it's like literally as tight as a second skin. And I mean, unless you're wearing bodycon, it makes no sense. If you're wearing bodycon, yeah, you can do that. But otherwise, every item of clothing goes on top of the body. So it goes on top of the line that you drew for the body. Okay, and also items, for example, like this skirt that has a little bit of flaring at the bottom, they go way out of the body, right? So like they go like something like this, right? And the way that you can guess, or better yet, try how these items would fit is that you kind of need to think about the material of the item. So this one looks like jeans or maybe corduroy. So like this kind of texture of fabric is probably quite rigid, quite heavy. So the heavier an item, the more it will weight on the body. So it will have, so like even if there's a wind, like a silk scarf, if there's a wind, will go like way, like all the way there. But if she's wearing like a heavy scarf, like a winter scarf, then even if there's a breeze, it's maybe gonna go like this, but not like way, And that kind of thinking is the thinking that is gonna make your clothing look believable, even if you're drawing in a cartoony way. Also, the more an item is flimsy, the less, it will have creases in the folding, like that are smaller and softer, right? Because it will not crease as much. But instead, if an item is like a coat or a heavy jumper or something like that, it will have folds that are, and creases that are bigger, like, for example, say that she's wearing a big sweater on this arm, like the folding is gonna be like something more like this, right? Because there's more fabric. Instead, if she's wearing just a tiny cardi or something like that, then it's more gonna be like this. So like maybe a little bit of, space here, but not so much on the arm, right? So here we come to my third point. So point number one was put the clothes on top of the body. Number two is think of fabric dynamics. Number three is basically when you are working out the fabric dynamics and where things are going to fall and how they're going to fall, you have to think about these sort of like points of contact that the item has with the body. So for example, let's talk about that famous sleeve, right? So if you have a t-shirt on top of this arm, the point of contact is going to be the outmost point of the shoulder, right? So like if it's a t-shirt that is heavy cotton, for example, it's going to be more stiff. So the point of contact is going to be here, where there's probably going to be a seam, and then it's going to go like on, like it's going to fall down on the arm and maybe do like a little bit of a like you can kind of see the behind of the shirt, because the fabric, if it's cotton, is kind of stiff and it's gonna stay, like more open. Basically, it's gonna be more rigid. But instead, if you have a flimsy kind of t-shirt, so you have this point of contact here, and then it's kind of gonna go like on the body, and maybe like do just like a little bit of a drape according to how big the sleeve is. If it's not very big, it's probably not even going to do that. It's going to be just like this, kind of thing. So that's the point of contact, and then it's going to fall down from that side. For example, when we're talking about this skirt, the point of contact is the outermost like element of the hip in this case. So from here, you have force that goes down that way, right? Because the hip is going like that, and so like the skirt is going like this. And on this side instead, there's going to be more space, because if the hip is going that way, so the skirt is going to be closer to the hip on this side, and then it's going to be larger and like less tight on the skin on this side, basically. So that's how you kind of figure out how to work the fabric dynamics. So my third point is point of contact. And yeah, I mean, that's about it for the more brainy part. So real quick, let's draw one of these outfits. So I'm gonna turn down. So practically speaking, when I'm drawing an outfit, I usually put down the opacity of the layer that I'm drawing on. And then I choose my outfit. I'm gonna go with this one, I think, the skirt and the little top there. So you can keep the skirt and kind of see what you're drawing, basically. So here's the navel. And if you have any questions, please do ask them. And I like to give like a little bit of detailing when I'm drawing, especially like jeans and like seams. I like to draw seams. And I think, like seams and stuff like that, like really give more texture to items, make them look more realistic. So for example, here we have the suspenders, which are of course exactly on top of the legs. So it's okay if, if these ones aren't on top of the body, but they're just like literally on the same line as the outline. And then for the shoes, because these feet are looking forward, usually what I do is that I draw the top part of the shoe like a little bit up to give the idea that it's, it's 3D basically. And underneath, especially for these kind of loafers, I like to draw like thick soles. There you go. Same thing on the other side. Hi! So again, on this side as well. I don't know if you guys can hear my mom being an absolute maniac in the other room. I believe that she has more fun than my daughter when they play together. They're playing with some blocks, I think. Also, she's complaining. I can hear her. She's complaining because I said that I would be done with my live at 6:20. And to be fair, it's 6:19. So there you go. I'm still there. I have 1 minute to finish this outfit. And so, yeah, and then you go with the top. There you go. And always remember with like the color to make it go behind the neck. And this is a very soft sort of shirt. I think it's more like almost like knitting basically. Oh, and one thing as well, like a lot of people when they draw women wearing shirts, they basically just draw them like completely like on top of the body like this. And it's like, unless again she's wearing bodycon, that's not gonna happen. So like if a shirt is like this one, is like it's soft and kind of like knitty, then it's gonna go down like more softly, on the body. So yeah, I'm sorry, but you cannot draw that specific part of the female anatomy like that. There you go. So this is how I would draw an outfit, and then I would basically like turn off the layer. Actually here it was more like this. I was fooled by the braid here. Maybe like this is better. There you go. So yeah, I would delete the or unsee the layer underneath, and then you can create another layer to fill in with color your clothes, basically, and keep going like that. And that's pretty much how I approach drawing clothes. And this way it's also really good if you're doing some biz dev, because you can just like put one character in one position and then draw a lot of different outfits on top. And that will look really nice in your portfolio. There you go. So I have to go because I have to relieve my kid from my mom. And I hope you guys had fun, and please do ask me questions about these specific parts of outfit if you have them. And I will see you tomorrow. We'll draw more outfits. Bye guys.